Shalom World Television is coming to Australia. This is a great gift. It's been gifted to many parts of the world, and now it's our Australian turn to receive it with open arms. I welcome it, I bless it. It's going to really support family life, married life, youth, give us a resource that we know that we need really great help in these areas. May Almighty God bless this new resource coming to our land, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Shalom World, God's own channel.
Welcome.
God is glorified when men are fully alive. This quote from St. Irenaeus is an inspiration to us at menALIVE. Ordinary men can be great men. By accepting and acknowledging the gifting that God has given us, developing those gifts and using them for the benefit of those around us is life-changing and changes the world. Many men have got great gifts that they deny and don't acknowledge, and we're all the poorer for it. We have such a rich tapestry of unique gifts, and in those gifts is a certain grace from God that He allows us to reach other people, and lives can be changed. Well, are we excited to have you here, MAX17. You ready? Yeah. Hey? That's great. If this is your first Max weekend, don't worry, we won't do anything weird, all right? There's plenty of other places you can go to for that, all right? But I'm conscious that we've come from far and wide, and some are very holy and some are not feeling that holy, but I really want to make you feel really welcome. I don't care at what end of the spectrum you're on, you're welcome and you're at home here. I must warn you though, there has been partial nudity at weekends like this, all right? I'm serious. Yeah, it's funny now. Not when you're the person in the hallway with your towel locked out of your room because you left your key in your room. So keep your keys handy, Bruce Lane. Given that this is a Catholic men's weekend, I thought it would be pertinent to share with you a profound experience that happened to a mate of mine one day at Mass. So my mate was studying very hard and exams were getting close. And during exams, he and I used to go to 6:30 a.m. Mass. He said he always felt more peaceful after Mass. Anyway, on this particular morning after studying late into the night, he'd slept in. It was 6:20. He had 10 minutes to get to Mass. In the dark, he fumbled to find the clothes he had taken off the night before and laid on the chair. Shirt, check. Socks, check. Jocks. This could be broadcast anywhere. Jocks, underwear, what do we call them, men? Undies. No undies. So off to Mass he went, commando. Now, how bad could it be? Jesus went fishing with the apostles and I'm pretty sure they were commando, right? Now, could you imagine, you're a new apostle, you're going fishing with the boys, everyone's taking their robes off and throwing them in a basket. You're thinking, what are we in for? All I can say is I'm glad they didn't use fishing hooks back then. They just used the nets, right? So Mass went well. He walked up for communion. Always a peaceful experience when you're studying and you're stressed. After Mass, he stood outside and there was a cute girl that we both knew and we thought was all right, so we ended up chatting to her. And halfway through the conversation, she points to my mate's boot and says, "What's that?" And he looks down, and there hanging out of his trouser leg is his underwear. So the moral of the story, even if you have come here in a rush, a little unprepared, you might be feeling a little bit commando. Take your time, take a deep breath and enjoy what God has prepared for you. It's a shame for you to come all this way and be here in person and not be here in mind. How often do we go places and we're distracted, eh? We're men, we've got lots of things going on. We're doers, we're creators, we're builders, we're makers, we're fixers. And there's always 10 things rolling around in your mind. Anyone feel like that right now? Yeah, there's a few of you. The rest of you are obviously unemployed. So anyway, I've been reading a great book. Anyone heard of Dave Allen? Yep, it's a great book, Getting Things Done, So I've been really getting into that lately, and I love my task lists, I love my to-do lists, and I think, if I'm procrastinating, I really know what I'm procrastinating from. It's good, isn't it? Yeah. It's meant to be funny. You guys are a hard audience. Oh. I come here with no undies and everything. So anyway, Dave Allen talks about these open loops, like you have these tasks in your list and there's always lots of things that we can't finish or fix or attend to, right? And it just takes up, your RAM, your random access memory. Anyone here know a bit about computers? So you kind of, with your computer, you've got your random access memory, which kind of operates things, and then you've got your hard drive, which is all the storage, right? And so I think, I've got a bit of RAM, probably not as much as some of you guys. But, we have lots of applications open. What happens to your RAM? It crashes and burns. It doesn't run too smoothly. And so as you come here tonight, you've probably got a whole lot of things floating around that are chewing up your RAM. What I'd encourage you to do is to just sit for a minute. And you've all been given a little piece of orange paper, right? I want to challenge you. I want to sit here for a minute in silence, and I want you to think of the top 3 things that are floating around in your head right now that are a distraction. What are the top 3 things that are floating around in your head, and they just loop? Got to do that. Can't do anything about it. My daughter's sick. I worry about it. Churns around. I can't fix that problem. I can't solve it, but it chews up my bandwidth. Does anyone identify with that? These things that they're just rolling around, they just randomly appear. They play like a little record, flip on the A side, play that. Can't do anything about it. What does it do? It just makes me a bit anxious. What it really does is it takes me away from being present here right now. And that's a thief, isn't it? Distraction is a thief of being present. There's such a powerful value, isn't there, when you're with someone and you know that you know that you have their full attention and they have yours. That's powerful, isn't it? In this day and age, you go into a restaurant, what do you see? People on their phone eating dinner, da-da-da-da-da. I'm here, but I'm not with you. I'm with some much more interesting people. So take a minute. The top 3 things that are taking up your bandwidth right now. A minute's silence, please. If you've finished, I want you to just sit there and just be really still and take a deep breath in. Just sort of loud enough so the guy beside you can hear. Just hold it for a second and just let it out slowly. Let those things that have occupied your mind fall out onto that bit of paper. It's a little risk and it takes some trust, doesn't it, to let go and free your mind of things. And I want you and I encourage you to let go of those things until Sunday at lunchtime. If you want them back, you can have them Sunday at lunchtime. But if Jesus was standing here and said, that thing that you're worrying about right now, that you know that you can't affect, you can't change, you can't fix, you can't impact, if he said, I want you to give it to me until Sunday at lunchtime and trust me with that, would you do that? So don't write your name on it. If you have, cross it out, doesn't matter. But symbolically, we're going to collect them. And we're going to put them at the foot of this cross. No one's going to look at them. We're going to put them there and allow God to deal with those things. So Tyrian's going to take this box around, just pass them to the centre, collect them. And just watch in silence. There's 160 men times 3. Number of concerns is heading down, flowing into this aisle, right? Just think of that, of the worry, the concerns, just rolling into that aisle right now. And soon they're going to roll up this aisle and they're going to be set at that cross. For some reason, I think if I keep thinking about it, I can fix stuff. It's such a lie, isn't it? I can't imagine how much time, how much time have I wasted worrying about stuff I can't fix? How often that has distracted me and taken me away from the power of the now. And that's what I'm inviting you into this weekend, is the power of the now. It's to step away, okay? Put your life up on the blocks at the mechanics and allow the grand mechanic to come in and do some repair work. You know, some of you guys, you just need a grease and oil change. Some of you guys got so much rust in your system that they're going to do major work. You know, some guys, it might be a bit painful. But letting go, you've got to let go of the rust. You know, when you take your car to the mechanic, you've got to let go of the old bits, haven't you, for them to put new bits in. So it's a bit of a letting go, and I encourage you to let stuff go this weekend. Be courageous. So Tyron will bring that up in a minute. I'm going to put that at the cross. The menALIVE team has worked very hard leading up to this weekend. Lots of preparations being put in. And we've got a great sense of anticipation about what's going to happen. As I was saying, we've got a great sense of expectation about this weekend, because I know from years gone by how transforming this experience is for so many men. So many men have come year after year and have been transformed into good and greater and better men. They've experienced healing. Who believes they could be healed this weekend? Why not? Why not? Got 160 men in here with a sense. You didn't come here thinking, I hope nothing happens. Wasn't like, hopefully God won't know I'm here. It's going to be a fly on the wall and nothing's going to happen to me. That's not how God works. Sometimes we're afraid that God might be rough with us, but is God ever rough? Only if you need it. Hey, if you're a big hitter like St. Paul, you need to be knocked off a horse to get your attention. That might happen. But the thing I love, when I read about the healings in the Bible, the thing I love is that never once was the healing ever the same, was it? It was always personalised and special, individual for that person. And that's how God engages with us. In the power of individuality, he reaches us in the way we need to be reached. And he heals us in the way that we need to be healed. Now, I want to introduce you to a man that had a transforming experience at this event last year. And he's carried that throughout the year. I'd like you to welcome John Freebody.
Hi everyone, my name is John, and this time last year I came to my second menALIVE. I was very blessed, very lucky. At the time I arrived at a very confusing point in my life. I must admit, in the 6 months prior to the weekend I changed my whole career, which was quite a significant change. I moved my family and was trying to deal with a strong sense of betrayal. I was pretty much questioning God's plan for me. Maybe you guys have experienced some of this in your life, that sense. Then I came here and I was confronted with this conference motto of what if? What if what? You know, it was kind of that feeling for me, and I said, and then I was struck by the question that was floated towards me, which was, what if I could be the best version of myself? You see, I truly believe that we all come here tonight with not only our own stories, but our own bruises, our own gifts, and our own needs. Some of us need mateship, and some of us need strength, and some of us need forgiveness. Last year I needed to forgive and to gain some clarity. I just didn't know it. So I had a clear choice last year when I came here. I could be a victim or I could make things happen. In addition to the men I met and shared time with and listened to, one of the best things I did last year was to mail myself a letter reminding me that how I'd risen from a fall many times before. So I made a list, and it just happened that nearly everything on that list was about serving others, not myself. I didn't mean it that way, it just happened that way. After writing about my wife and my kids, my work and my community, I wrote, run a marathon. I don't know why. I knew with my 5 kids that it was going to be almost impossible to find the time to train. And maybe I too just felt like running. But as I ran that marathon 2 weeks ago, for the first time, my whole life... Yeah, thank you. My whole year since last year drifted through my head. Because you've got a lot of time to think, and I was thinking about my stronger family and my real friends, my lifestyle changes, and the list that I made in that seat just over there last year. And it made me realise that I was running more than just a marathon. Well, I was running a better race in life. And I found some peace. I didn't find it until I got that mail in my letterbox. But I found a lot of peace. I found a different type of peace at the marathon last week, or the other week. And you know what? In the last 12 days, it's funny. These things have just happened so easily. With that peace, it's amazingly powerful. I ran into a mate the other day, and he'd planned to commit suicide on Wednesday, and I was able to help him with that. I'd made peace with my mum. We haven't had a relationship for 22 years, and I made peace with her the other day. And all this other peace came from my own peace that I had. So just having that was amazing. For me, menALIVE last year was more than just a couple of days with real men and real problems and real hearts. I also realised that my time away from my family needed to be more than just a couple of pledges and a couple of meals. It needed to be real action. So this weekend, I urge every one of you not to hold back, but to be brave. Allow yourself to become a better version of yourself and to make things happen. See, unless we let some things go and let other things grow, we cannot become the best version of ourselves. So everyone, have a great weekend, and God bless you.
Good job. Powerful stuff, isn't it? From the horse's mouth. Thank you, John. Very inspiring. You can get healing from marathon running, you know. So this year, as part of your preparation, you had the opportunity to do the disc profile. How many did the disc profile? Like, it's a bit of a strength finder, right? Some of you didn't do your homework. I encourage you to do that. So often we can come to events like this and we always think about the things that we need to fix, but we sometimes forget and celebrate the gifting that God has given us. The strength, it's a strength-finding exercise. Why? Because we all have strengths. Sometimes we don't always feel like that we have strengths, so we need others to point them out to us, don't we? We're sometimes blinded to our gifting because we think, can't everybody do that? Can't everyone do a quadratic equation while half asleep? Michael Forbes, probably. Can't someone lay bricks as straight as that? Can't someone fix a leaking pipe? Can't someone fix a computer like that? Can't someone teach? Can't someone marry? You know, like, we always think that others are more gifted than ourselves. And in doing that, we actually deny the generosity of God and the gift He has given us, right? To actually cop it on the chin and accept the gifts that you've been given, acknowledge them, find them, develop them, gives glory to God. I'm good at this. I am. And you know what? I don't care if I do it or if I don't do it. But what I really get a kick out of is the fact that hopefully by my being here tonight, you guys have relaxed and engaged and we'll get something out of the weekend. And that's something I'm really lucky to be able to use as a gift. And it's got nothing to do with me. Using my gift is actually all about other people. And that's when you let the gift go and it flourishes. So find your gifting. If you don't do the disc profile, do it. Okay? Take it home, do it, acknowledge your gifting. And this weekend, don't be afraid to point it out in other people you see, in your small groups. You get to know people. Hey, you know what? You're really good at that. Really? You'll learn something. Welcome to menALIVE MAX17. We're going to go and interview a few guys and just see how the weekend's impacted them. Come with me. Just tell me, how's the weekend been for you?
Absolutely fantastic, mate. It's always unbeatable. Always surpasses the previous one.
Fantastic. And what are the takeaways for you this weekend?
Well, obviously, one of the things always for me is the communion with Jesus. Just to sit down and be quieter and more still, so I can hear the voice of God. That's the real thing for me. In a busy, hectic life, the thing I'm going to take away more is that whole connection with the Holy Spirit.
Breeze, tell me, how's the weekend been for you?
But it has been awesome, mate. I have a great weekend. I've I've experienced God in the men I've had contact with, many good men I have experienced God through and challenged in a big way to make long-term positive changes in my life, to seek out better relationships with my kids, with my wife, with my business, to go deeper and seek God's purpose.
Mate, great to have you here again this year. All right. Hey, Michael, tell me, how's the weekend been for you?
The weekend's been excellent, actually. It's been a good opportunity to take time out and to reflect. Some of the speakers, some of the information that was given made me feel uncomfortable, but that was good because it also challenged me to think about the past and to think about previous experiences that I'd had and to be able to be focused on the future. So the future for me is to make sure then that I've got a bit of an action plan together to work with and to make my own house and home a place where Christ is really present. Most important thing is to keep your eyes on Christ and to focus on God and to make God the center of your life. So,
thanks, mate. That's great. What a great story.
Brothers of the Son of Man, answer this question. Are you doing everything you can to be a better man? You a man alive. Who are you? Are you a man alive? Are you a man alive? Man alive. Who are you? Are you a man alive? Who are you? Are you leaving your love as a legacy? Who are you? To your family, are you a mystery? Who are you? And who do you wanna be? Don't go sitting on the fence with your destiny. Follow the Father who is the King of Kings. Are you a man alive? Man alive. Who are you? Are you a man alive? Are you a man alive? Man alive. Who are you? Are you a man alive? Man alive, or just a dead man walking? Man alive, are you walking the talking? Brothers, and did you know Jesus was a man just like you and me? He is the best example of how a man should be. Son of Man, understand. If you wanna be a better man, you gotta be a God man.
When our hearts are filled with God's love, everything we do is filled with joy. Even the challenges around us can turn our hearts to be filled with joy. To spread this love, let us all join together and spread happiness. Support Shalom. No gift is too small. No gift is too big.